Hey, welcome to Let's Talk Her Wellness. I'm your host, Lynette Thomas, and my co-host is Lady J. And Let's Talk Her Wellness is here to empower women to heal and grow and thrive in every aspect of their lives. Happy Wellness Tuesday, everybody. How are you doing? How are you doing? How are you doing, Lady J? How are you? I hope.
Happy Tuesday. Happy
Oh,
Tuesday,
happy
everyone.
Tuesday. I'm excited to be here. This is one of our happy places. I hope that all of you have had an amazing Tuesday and that you are thriving. And listen, guys, we had some technical difficulties, but we pushed through and we
Yeah.
are here. I don't think that Lady J, there's no place, no space in life that you won't have some setbacks, but I promise you, if you push through, you'll get to this other side. So we're on the other side. We hope you guys can hear us clearly. Put up some hearts in your chat if you can hear us clearly. If everything is clear and you can hear us, we're going to get through this live with no difficulties, no internet, anything, no nothing. So guys, listen, welcome in. And listen, before we get started on this amazing topic tonight, go get your notebook and your pen,
Notebooks.
favorite drink, and invite your favorite girlfriend or your mom or your auntie, and we're going to start talking. And so I am going to, Lady J, what is in your cup tonight, girlfriend? Because you know you're fancy and you always have something good. So I want to know what you're drinking first.
Well, I stay in a space of
I like it.
drinking something very fancy. So I have lemon
Mm.
and rosemary. And today, the combination is all about cleansing, nutrition. It's about anti-inflammatory. It is about feeling good and looking good. So, cheers to everyone. And cups and glasses are raised, and they are raised to our wellness and our health. Because if we don't have our health, well, we ain't even well, honey. And that's in mind, body, and spirit. If the body ain't right, money ain't right either. So what are you drinking, sister?
I have something totally different tonight. Listen, I am once Lady J, I find me something good to drink and I like it, I tend to stick to it. So my husband said tonight, no. You got to switch it up tonight. And so, guys, I didn't even put it in a cup. I didn't put it in a glass. I didn't put it in anything. But Lady J, I have apple, carrot, beet, banana, orange, and pineapple. I gave y'all a double decker.
Girl, that's a kung fu punch right
It's a
there.
powerful punch. We know that beet cleanses the blood. And this is actually a drink for my husband who's going through blood cancer. And so these are all powerful fruits and vegetables in here to help purify the blood. We already know apple is very good for gut health. We already know that that gives you your fiber. We all know that carrot is good for our vitamins, the B's, the A's, the C's. And then you got the beet. We already know that that's really good for blood and a whole lot of other things. And then banana, we all know that that's potassium. We all know that orange is good for our vitamin C, all of those vitamins that we need, that holds that. Pineapple, oh my God, the enzymes and all of those good things, ooh, that our cells love. So this is a really good power packed drink. And I like to drink these all, Jadine, in the summer times, especially because we need our electrolytes. You know, water, guys, is amazing, but I very, 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 very well, what's the word I want to use? I recommend coconut water, because if we're going to be outside in the heat, you need electrolytes. As you are sweating, you know, you need some, not only water for those bones and everything, but you need electrolytes to keep you hydrated and all of that good stuff. So I am drinking my blend today, and I
I love
asked.
it. I love it. So I
So,
heard you
guys, what
talk
are you drinking in your cup? Put it in the chat. Listen, we want you to engage with us. Send up your hearts if you know these lives are blessing you, because we want to hear from you. And guess what I found today, Lady J? That this platform is going to be offering. It is going to be offering where we can actually pull our guests up. So I don't think it was offering that before, but when they leave a comment, we can actually bring them up. We can actually see their face and interact with them. So I think that that is going to be fun on this platform and all that good stuff. But Lady J, tell me, what are we talking about tonight, girl? What's good? Tell me, give me your tea. What we talking about, huh? Tell you.
Well, you know what, sister? Here is the reality. I was taking a walk 2 days ago, and something in my spirit just spoke to me around how much, like for me, I spend time inside.
Mm-hmm.
And I started to think as I walked and I interacted and opened myself up to just the beauty of nature, how much I missed it. Like
Yeah.
I missed being a kid and
Yeah.
how we would go outside, spend time playing in the dirt, in the grass, just allowing for the sun to hit and kiss our skin. And so many of us now, we have become adverse to walking through the journey of allowing for nature to cure us, to feel us. And like I literally felt like God whispered to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I was finding such a sense of peace as I heard, because I like to go outside really, really, really early in the morning and allow for before the sun rises for the blue ray light to hit and touch my skin. And it does something to our sleep pattern when we
Mm-hmm.
can get outside early. And it's like the world stands still.
Yeah.
My mind felt so clear, Lynette. And for the moment, I realized that the stress that I felt when I was trying to rush to get outside to go hurry up and walk my dog,
Yeah.
I slowed down. I realized that nature
Yeah.
was actually nurturing me.
Yeah.
And it motivated me to put a post out to invite people to consider, when was the last time that you wasn't just walking outside because you needed to go to your car,
Mm-hmm.
or outside because you know were going out there to cut the grass, but
Mm-hmm.
intentionally making a decision to take yourself out in the environment
Mhm.
and enjoy what nature has to offer. And I know that God is intentional about everything that he does. When
Yeah.
he created the ecosystem,
Mhm.
he did it with the intention of making sure that what he put in the earth would bring something back to us. So, girl, go out. I want to go out and frolic. I want to go out and just sit in a space where nature becomes medicine. How do you
Yeah.
think that sounds, Lynette, that nature becomes our medicine?
First of all, you know I'm a nature girl, first of all. And I'm a June bug. So I was born in June. I love everything about summertime. Most people are complaining it's hot, it's hot, it's hot. Listen, that could stay on my dial forever because I do not like cold weather. I love to be out in nature. I think there is so much healing in that. And as we were talking before, I want to read something. It says, look deep into nature, and then you will understand everything better. Albert Einstein. Let's park that there because I want to say that again. He said something powerful. Look deep into nature, and then you will understand everything better. I want to expound on that, JD, because I want to answer your question. When he says that, look deep into nature and then you will understand everything. When I look into nature now, because when we talk about food as medicine, when we talk about mental health, when we talk about, all of the things that you just said, I just think that we are so busy that we don't take the time to stop, look, and listen
That's so
and
good.
take advantage of all of God's nature. You know, I think that when he says you will understand everything better, I
Mm,
love trees. It's
mm.
something about trees. I think that trees tell a story. And I walk in my neighborhood around here and I look at all of the different trees,
Right,
the
right.
weeping willows and all of the bark trees. And, I just fall in love, with nature because it really is saying something if we pay attention. And
That's
then
right.
he says, share a personal moment where being in nature, and this is for our audience too and our listeners, because we want you to engage. We want you can leave your comments in the chat. So there's the question it is asking, share a personal moment where being in nature restored you, a walk after a tough week, watching the sunrise, or sitting under a tree with a journal. I think one of my favorites is now, Jay, is I love the sunset. So I go, I will drive now where I used to live, and that's probably like 30 minutes away from me now. But I go there because I want to go in the Tyler Park, and there's a certain space and place there. It's just nothing but open land. And I
Mhm.
go there and I say, I wonder how many acres of land this is, because we into these acres of land. And so I'm like, God, first of all, how many acres of land is this? And I love to see the sunset. because it looked like a big orange ball, and it
Right.
looked like it comes that close to earth that you can literally touch it. And I say, and I sit there and I have prayer and I say, God, first of all, I'm thankful that I get to see this.
That's right.
I don't want to take this for granted. And it's just in all your splendor and all your, oh my God, it's just something that takes place in that moment. You don't even want to step on the grass with your shoes on. You're like, man, this is so sacred and this is so special. And this is such a moment, God. I just feel like it's just me and you, one on
That's
one.
right. That's right.
And I just love to go out and I just like to, you'll see on a lot of my posts when that sun just shine in my face. I love sunbathing. I really do. I love sunbathing. And I just love to lay in that sun and just bake up all that sun. And I always say in my lives, this vitamin D is free to me. You know, it's just, I love nature, Jay. And I just feel like we have gotten away from nature. We just got away from taking advantage of those small little things in life that mean so much. And especially in this amazing country called the United States of America. We take for granted all of this nature. We take for granted. We take it for granted.
No, I so agree with you. When you think about how many parks are out there and being intentional about just hanging out and going out to the park. So as you were talking, I could see the zeal and the excitement that just was over your whole continent.
Mhm,
And when we think, like, I could close my eyes and see a lush green landscape, a
mhm.
canvas. I
Yeah.
could see beautiful flowers.
Mhm.
And now we walk past so much that is to
Yep.
me,
Yep.
free to me, and say, I need to go pay for it somewhere different. I need
Mhm.
to go, fly to where there is a palm tree. When God
Mhm.
said, go out there to the oak tree,
Right out there.
because
Yeah.
grandmama and them they was getting some healing potions, and we could talk about all of that the earth provides, but the environment itself, as I was talking about the circadian rhythm, that when you get out there before the sun, and it helps you to sleep, it helps you to have mental clarity, it's great for your skin. There's information, Lynette, that talks about, like, we're in an epidemic of loneliness. Who ever thought that I could go outside and interact outside and it would help me feel better? Like, the
Mhm.
statistics that show that 28% of people that were surveyed, that when they spent time outside, they felt emotionally better, they felt mentally better, they felt physically better. And nature isn't just nice, it's actually necessary for us to really begin to regulate and to see, like, the benefits from the soil. It's funny that my son caught me on camera before, and because I suffer from chronic pain, your girl was out there trying to call herself. Look, I was out there walking around, rounding in the garden. So this brother, it's 3 o'clock in the morning, and he think I'm absolutely a lunatic to be out there walking around barefoot, and it was cold. It was cold in that. But I was convinced that grounding was going to offer something to me, because there is in the earth benefits when we step and take off them darn shoes.
Take
We
them off.
take them off, right?
Yes.
And just so that our listeners know, you may hear grounding called earthing,
Yeah.
and it refers literally to a practice of connecting your body to the earth,
Yeah.
walking barefoot on the grass, soil, sand, and it has powerful wellness benefits. For me, Lynette, it was about reducing inflammation and helping myself to feel better. Muscle pain, chronic pain. I know you was telling me earlier about somebody and that you were watching. Tell me the story. Tell everybody the story that you talked about with the young lady laying out in nature, allowing for rain to hit her body. So talk to us about what you witnessed.
I think it's so beautiful. And you probably, if you go to TikTok and you put the woman laying out in rain, you're going to bring this sister up.
So
I
rain
thought,
therapy is what.
yeah,
Okay.
I think
Mhm.
it's so interesting. I thought it was so interesting that she literally records, I guess, whenever it rains, and it looked like she's maybe like a yoga teacher or something like that.
Okay.
And she had to be, because no regular person going to record stuff like this. But she literally, when it rains, now I don't know about being out there, no lightning and thunder now, because I heard lightning and thunder. I want to say, sister, get on up now.
Going
But
up inside
anyway,
now.
she was out there laying. She get down and lay, and she put her hands back as if to say, God, I'm surrendering to you. And she just lay there in that rain. And when she did this, she put healing music behind it.
Mhm.
So I found myself staying on her page, and I was very engaged. And I was like, if I was there, I would lay right beside her. And that would be for some a challenge, because you're like, I ain't laying on this ground and in this wet
I know,
rain.
right?
Because when it rained outside, often I hear people say, oh, it's nasty outside. Oh, it's raining outside. And I said, you know what? And sometimes if you're not careful, you'll chime right in with them.
That's right.
And whenever
Mhm.
I find myself doing that, I says, no, it's not nasty outside. I said, it's cleansing outside. God is cleansing. God is watering. God is growing. I said, we grow in the rain. It don't feel good to be wet and cold and whatever, but there is a benefit to the rain. When I look at homesteading, you and I are very into nature. We're very
Right.
into land, and we're very into growing and all of those kinds of things that draws us, because that is where our passion is. So we're drawn to things like this. And I love looking at homestead reality shows. And
Absolutely.
I know some of y'all on here look at the bush people, and I look at all my episodes and I'm mad because they ain't bring them back. I'm like, bring back our homestead shows, because I want to know, first of all, JD, I want to know how to survive. If
Mm,
something should take place in this world
that's
and we don't
good.
have access to electric, we don't have access to running water, honey, I want to know how to get to these streams, how to capture our spring water through the streams, and our healing herbs and things like that. So I believe that God, he really does, he's preparing us. That's number one. God is preparing us because he knows that there is something that's going to hit this land. And we need to be prepared for how to survive when that water stop running and when that electric is out, and how you going to live. We're going to have to live off the earth, because guess what? If this happened, it ain't going to be a new thing, but it's going to be new to us, because we don't know how to survive without all of this luxuriousness, you know?
Right.
And Big Mama and them gone. So they can't really tell us, girl, cut that and go down here. We going down here by the stream. We're going to go down here and pull some water. No, move that rock, situate them leaves, put that so that fresh rain water, we're going to get these buckets. So I look at all of those things, and I'm going to keep looking at all of those things, because when that day come, if it shall ever come, and we pray it don't, this girl going to know how to survive.
I know that's right.
So I love how she captured and she pulled me in. Just to look at that for BJ was so healing. The music, to watch her laying in that rain, because I remember as a kid, I used to go outside. Oh, I used to be in the rain. I open up my mouth to capture the water and everything. Girl, it be thundering and lightning. I can hear my mom say, girl, if you don't get up in here and get in this house,
and go somewhere and sit down and be still.
She said, girl, get in this house. It is thundering and lightning out here. And this girl out here in this rain talk about she want to capture the water in her mouth and everything. She said, girl, get in here. And then I'll be trying to sneak back out there, but Mama wasn't having it. And so, but talk about a nature girl. And one thing, facts, this is a fact. And my mother's on this live, and I'm gonna read some of what she's saying. But I remember, Jay, I was such a nature girl. And come on now, I know some of y'all on this live, the same thing, y'all done did it too. I used to eat dirt. I used to get in trouble for eating dirt. My mom would be like, this girl is out here eating dirt, girl. And she would, and I don't know if y'all had them mamas where she changed you like 3 times a day. I don't know if it was because I was the only girl back then, but I was changed. My mother would change me like 3 times a day. I go outside in the morning and play. Then you're going to come back in here because mama said you ain't playing all day. You got to learn something. So we had to come in and learn for an hour. And then went back outside, played a little bit, and there was a changing session. Coming on in here and change. I was like, Mom, what was all this stuff about? But I remember eating dirt. And why? I don't know. I don't know why we eat dirt. But talk about being a nature person, being a nature girl. Now, I don't know a nature girl, but I don't know what happened when it came to bugs and mosquitoes and stuff, because
I was about to say, now wait a minute.
Moving besides
you can't
me, sister,
stand
I'm out of
anything
here.
that got a little crawling with a
I'm
wing
out.
that fly. Anytime
Yeah, I'm out.
Come on.
Look, anything moving besides me, I'm going to leave you right there. So I even think about, wouldn't it be nice, Lady J, for Let's Talk Her Wellness to host a camping trip? Now, see, a camping trip for me would be
glamping. We glamping. We gonna glamp.
We need a whole trailer.
Glamping.
We need the trailer by day, and we need the hotel by night. Because that would be me. That would be me. But that whole camping, I have family and friends, they love that whole camping thing. And that's a wonderful thing. But I think you being as close to nature, when you have high blood pressure,
yes,
when you have underlying ailments, especially my people with lupus, my people with fibromyalgia, it is so good for you to get out in nature, because when you are under chronic stress, and you have, when your bones ache, first of all, the sun is really amazing for your bones, you know, and I'm not talking about being in humidity and heat because I know that that can aggravate,
That's
but
right, especially
I'm
lupus.
I'm talking about just like you said, Jay, like that morning time, getting out in nature, hearing those birds chirping. I found out 4 o'clock in the morning, around 3:30 here, close to that 4 o'clock, you start hearing the birds chirping. You hear the birds chirping. And I lay there and I get sometimes so emotional because I'm saying, thank you, God, that I can hear,
That's right.
that I can hear those birds
That's
because
right.
somebody can't hear those birds. Somebody don't get a chance to hear nature. Somebody don't get a chance to see nature. Somebody don't get a chance to feel it. They have to rely on what you say it looked like.
Right. Right.
So just that part alone, we could talk about physical, we could talk about mental, but let's talk about spiritual. Let's talk about that soul care. Like when you get real grateful for nature, when I can see, when I can hear, feel, and I can smell with my six senses. That right
Mhm.
there, Jay, that trumps it all, honey. And I'm just looking at uh uh these mom says, did you know, ladies, everything in nature sing? And she says, I would like to get in a mud pool, but not so deep. Can't wait to try it. Going to get me a child pool and cool out. Mud, that's right.
Oh
But
yeah, the mud bath. That
mud
has
is
been
so healing to your
therapeutic for
skin.
years. Yep.
Mud is so healing to your skin, and they do it in other countries a lot. And especially if you have fibromyalgia, if you have chronic arthritis, if you have lupus, if you have those type of
Like
illnesses,
joint
that
related illnesses.
mud is so good for you. Not even talking about your skin, the healing of the skin. So yeah, yeah,
Yeah. I love that. And it does something to the lymphatic system as well.
yes, very much so.
I experienced a mud bath when we were visiting Thailand. And when you open your mind, you can't go back. You
Mm,
can't go back.
wow.
When you open your mind to enjoying simplicity,
Yeah.
you can't go back to wanting to live and be in these concrete walls. Like the concrete walls are almost like a prison. And we spend so much time in these concrete prisons that we call corporate buildings and corporate offices, that we've become so deprived. I remember, Lynette, being depressed because I lacked sunlight. I would
Mm,
out in the morning at 5 o'clock. And it was dark. And then I would come back home and it was dark. And I spent absolutely no time outside. And I
mhm.
developed that seasonal, that disorder that people get because of the weather change, the lack of sunlight. We also, and I don't know, is my sound out? Is mom saying like my sound is not? Are you hearing me okay, Lynette?
Your sound is out. I can hear you well.
Okay.
I hear you even more well now. I don't know what you did, but I hear
Okay.
you well.
So,
Can you hear us now, guys? Let us know.
okay. So, what I was just simply saying is that um, when we take an opportunity to connect in wellness and wellness retreats and being intentional and sitting in an attitude of gratitude, I realize there is a mental reset that is so necessary. Thank you, Tara, for letting us know that it's a mental reset. And I'm now that we have Tara on the line and we have your mom that's on the line, so I'm going to ask you to respond in chat. What is your favorite thing to do outside? So if you could share, as you are listening, what is it that you like to do when you're outside? Lynette says
Mm.
she's a sun lover. I have become a I don't know if I'm not going to call myself qualified or certified, but I'm out there bird watching. It's something about watching birds that now has intrigued me, and I am so excited about
Oh,
going
yes,
to certain parks because
yes,
we get to see all of the different type of birds. And I
yes.
swear that these birds, we have conversations. Like today, when I walked, me and this cardinal and I was having conversation. And here in Texas, we have cranes. So, and then I'm like, oh, how beautiful the cranes are. And I love just sitting out, ladybugs. Okay, so Tara says that she likes watching and listening to the birds. See, I am not alone. We're gonna
See,
have some black girls that are bird watching,
no,
black bird
listen, and
that is the thing.
I am definitely a bird watcher. And let me tell you something, not just any bird. My prayer for this year, I said, God, this year, I want to encounter a lot of songbirds, not songbirds, but hummingbirds.
Mm.
And let me tell you, in this house, there are a lot of cardinals. When I tell you every day from my kitchen window to my sun porch, there are red cardinals, there are
Mm.
blue cardinals. Then we'll get a bird and he has, excuse me, this bird has like a what do you call that thing that just go all the way back?
What color is the bird?
He's like a white, but on the top of his head, all the way down is blue. It's like a peacock looking. He's a
Okay.
different bird. But Michael and I were at Hope Lodge and we were sitting down. And Michael said very softly, he said, Lynette, guess what? Guess what's behind you? I said, what? He said, a hummingbird. And he flew, he sprinkled, then he came in front of us and sprinkled, and he left. And he had a blue stomach. And I told Michael, I said, Michael, that was Oscar, because that was Oscar's
Oh.
sitting place.
Mm-hmm,
That's
mm-hmm.
where Oscar sat in the garden, him and Lisa. And I said, thank you, Oscar. Thank you for coming by and seeing us. But however, I started reading up on the hummingbirds and
Okay.
how their wings flap 1,000 miles a minute. And I was just like, I want to find a place where I
Okay.
could go and visit and just see hummingbirds, because every year I go to the butterfly house and I
Mm-hmm.
go and I threw myself into learning butterflies and their lifespan and everything. But that bird watching, I love that bird watching. So that sounds like a trip to a bird house somewhere.
Kind
But
of sanctuary.
I want to
Absolutely.
see them behind the net or something,
Wait, wait, wait.
and
Wait,
talk
wait, wait.
about
I
a
give you
bird.
a disclaimer.
I
So you don't want
left
to say you're
and
not taking
came back.
birds too close and personal. They got it's like we going to a bird zoo. We got to see them behind.
behind something. I
We're
don't want no, I left, Jay. I left. I only was gone for 3 days. I came back, and right outside above my house, there's a bird nest right now as we speak. And I said, why they have to build a nest right here when I walk out the door? Because I had an experience before where a bird, I got out of my car and the bird chased me. He was chasing me. So can you imagine me running through a parking lot and screaming and beating my head because the bird was flying over my head? And I'm like, oh. So the man said, there's a nest by your car. And so he's chasing you out of there. And I'm like, I thought about this. I said, okay, so I got to walk out my door, and this bird got this nest out here. I don't want him attacking me, because when I came outside the other day, she was sitting there looking at me. And I'm like, all right, sister, you better not try nothing, because I got to go to my car. And I wanted to knock it down. But I said, I had to go ask my chat GPT girlfriend about this situation. And you know what she said? She said, don't mess with the bird nest. If you've seen the bird, count 2 to 3 weeks, because her eggs are hatching. And I saw her the other day when she was just checking on them. She was just looking down in there at her birds. And I said, sister, you better hurry up and let them birds' eggs hatch, because I want that down from here. Because I don't want you attacking me when I leave my house. Oh, God.
Well, you better leave her babies alone. So wait a minute. You talked about hummingbirds. So Tara mentioned that she used to have a lot of hummingbirds come to her patio. So I asked, was she feeding them? And she said you can put nectar out and attract them.
Yes, because
So
they like sugar water.
Now, I think she might be too much of a punk to allow for them birds to come up close and personal.
No, see, I don't play around. I like to see it, but
I loved having my birds visit. And for me, to your point, I felt that it was spiritual. So
yes.
I felt like that there were some birds that I felt connected to. So I started like researching of how birds can feel your spirit, and they can feel the presence of certain types of energies. So I was always excited when I would have a bird come visit me. I was like, okay, the birds came and visited me today. And just connecting with nature, like I feel lighter even after our conversation, and listening to you talk about the rain therapy and how people who have physical, mental, and emotional ailments, issues, or concern, sometimes you don't need a doctor. You just need to step out your door.
That's right.
And move away from these concrete prisons that we call our houses and homes and workplaces, and find somewhere where we can connect and just really meditate. You talked about praying. You mentioned about walking in the rain. Like there's so much that we can do. And Tara mentioned that she said, I totally understand the spiritual aspect. We had a bird fly into our window for about 3 weeks. And I don't know who was coming to visit you, but just know that somebody in an ancestor or some presence that God has assigned was there, Tara, to just come and dwell within your energy. That speaks to who you are, because birds, they find a safe place that they can make homes and nests for their babies to be hatched, and they come and visit to me based upon the people whose spirit they're feeling.
Well, it better have some spiritual connection to build a nest by my door. But that need to, and I want her to have her babies and go, and God bless you, but right by my door, like, yeah, because they will attack you, and we don't want that. But that nature thing is just amazing. And I like where it says, bring nature inside as a getaway, you know, plant herbs. It says plant herbs, windowsill gardens. I love my flowers. I just recently got into this plant. So I'm a plant mom. And so I haven't always been. But when I started to read and study up on how to take care of them, and now when I see them sprout and grow, I'm just like so happy. And, it says bring nature inside as a getaway, essential oils that mimic natural scents like pine, citrus, eucalyptus, stimulate the outdoor experience inside. And let me tell you something, there is nothing like, number one, slowing down, slow down, get centered, get planted. And like I said, with the essential oils, I love to diffuse essential oils in my house. They have such healing properties. Instead of taking medicine all the time, you know, put some lavender oil in that diffuser. And I remember when my mother, whenever she comes up here and she visits, mama used to be up. And so I said, you know what? I got something for her. I got something for this sister. And I would, in her bedroom, I would diffuse the essential oil. And my mother would be up like 5 and 6 o'clock in the morning. Mama was up. And I'd be like, Mom, where you going? And dressing, looking good. And I said, I got something for her. I put that essential oils on and them lavenders and everything. I go in there, mama was sleeping, snoring. I go back in there 8, 9, 10 o'clock. Mama still sleeping and snoring. I say, yeah. I said, honey, you are in the healing house now. I got something for you. And, put those oils on. And you don't have to be, you don't have to be, let's say, tied to one, because essential oil blends, it depends on what's going on in your life. Essential oils are medicine. Medicine. I'm talking about real essential oil. It is medicine. So if you are studying, you got classroom papers to, turn in, then there's a citrus oil that can, if you find yourself sleeping and you're all whoop, 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 you can put on those orange blends and lemon pills that wakes you right up. It's citrusy, it's vibrant. It wakes you right up, literally. So we don't always have to rely on different medicines and things to lift us up and to bring us alive. We have real essential oils, blends that can help you sleep, that can help, give you mental clarity. If you are going through trauma, as a trauma coach, there are essential oils that I help. I have a blend called Inner Child. If I'm working with a client that have some really deep-seated trauma and childhood issues, there's oils and things that I use in my stress management massage. And I'm telling you, it brings up so much out of this person. I'm telling you, our healing oils and herbs, guys, they work. You work with a professional and how to put these things together. You will be so surprised at what come up. and from simple herbal solutions. And Lady J, I look forward to us unpacking
Oh,
a lot
yeah.
of these things on Let's Talk Her Wellness. I really do. I really do.
I agree, and I know we're getting close to that time. I had
Mhm.
some lemon balm today because I knew that I was coming from doing my 9 to 5, and I said, okay, I just need something to relax me. So I took a not just the diffuser, and Tara talks about she has diffusers in every room, and I'm with you. I actually took the a decoction and had some, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna give me a couple drops under my tongue just so that I can feel this sense of calm. Like I said, oh, I ain't got no red wine. I was like,
Mhm.
what do I got? I got nature, baby. You better go on up in that cabinet and get you some nature to put a little bit of calm on you.
That's
So
right. That's right.
so I say that in joke and just, but simply there are so many remedies, and really what we wanted to invoke in our conversation tonight is how we can nurture ourselves in nature, and we can bring nature inside by doing small things
Mhm.
that Lynette just shared about those diffusers, our plants, um, sitting out on our balconies, and if you have a rooftop, you know, if all you have access to is your car, go sit in your car for a few minutes
That's my
and
mother.
and just relax and clear your thoughts, because our goal is to help you be happy, and most importantly healthy. And
Mhm.
that's, we know that ladies, you carry, and gentlemen, no shine, but it's the Let's Talk Her Wellness show.
Mhm.
We know that the burden of us moms and women and boss babes and business moguls, and just we carry so much that we put in our bosom. We
Mhm.
simply don't want a dollar amount to separate you from feeling better,
Yeah.
because everything we talked about tonight, ladies, was about you just getting outside and taking advantage of what God supplied to you for free,
Free.
for free,
No charge at
no
all.
charge.
I love this powerful saying. You weren't made to just survive under artificial lights and noise. You were made to breathe in the wilderness of God's creation. Healing is outside, hope is outside, peace is outside. All you have to do is step outside
Oh,
and
that's a mic drop moment. That's a mic drop
mic
moment.
drop,
That's a mic
mic
drop
drop.
moment.
So I encourage you, for all of my people that suffer with pain,
Hmm.
there are so many things for you outside. So many things outside. If you are, when you take your quiet times, I want you to put more thought into your healing places and spaces. If you have an area in your home, Lady J, I would love for us to talk about having a sanctuary in your home. It is so important for us, anybody, man and woman, but we are going to, like Lady J said, for the sake of Let's Talk Her Wellness, speak to women. Create a sacred place and space in your home that nobody else goes to but you. Move. It don't have to be big. If it's just a place where you can sit down and you can stretch your legs out, clean that area out, clean it out, and make that a healing sanctuary for you. Put some flowers in there, put your little essential oil diffuser in there, and maybe have a space where you can put on a board your healing affirmations and put you some music in there and go in that place, in that space, and just heal.
That's good.
Take your nature walks.
That's
Just
right.
you, and just heal. Because we can heal. Healing needs an atmosphere.
That's what I was thinking. I said, what a great way to close with that. It needs
Yeah.
an atmosphere.
Healing needs an atmosphere. And sometimes you got to create that atmosphere. You got to create that atmosphere for your mind, body, and for your soul. And start to take advantage of nature. Because, like Jadine said, it's free. We're not living in a world where they're dropping bombs, where our atmosphere is polluted, you know. So take advantage of what you have while we have a chance, because you'll find that your body will heal too. You'll find, especially if you suffer from fibromyalgia and pain, you will find that your body don't hurt so much. So give yourself, ladies, that place and that space. Find your healing space. Take advantage of it while it's free, you know? So we thank you guys for
Thank
just
you.
tuning in tonight. And Lady J and I have started something, and I think that we want to continue it, you know. So we'll just close out with a prayer that God will give you that idea where you can create your space. We just ask God to bless everybody that's on this live, that God, just take advantage of our world and all of its beauty that you have given to us. You know, that we take time to bask in your sun, that we take time to go to those streams where we can listen to the streams, the waters, that we could take time, God, to sit on that bench and listen to the birds. Because, God, you speak to us. It says when you want to hear from God, then you better come out of the train station. So get in those small spaces and places and take your breath. Breathe. Just breathe and invite God in, and stay there long enough that he begin to speak to you, that he can begin to guide you, that he can begin to show you the way. Because a lot of us are praying for different things. And you may say, God, I haven't heard from you. You haven't answered me. Maybe perhaps you're not still enough. Perhaps you're not at peace enough. But I want to invite you to take the time and center yourself and let God in, and let him speak to you in the rain, in the sun, in the water, in the wind. Let him speak to you in nature that he created for us. He created this universe for us. And so let's take advantage of it. If you haven't, start taking advantage of it. And Lady J, you take us out. We will see you guys next Tuesday. And we want to just encourage you to share this live, guys. Share this live with every woman you know, because it is so important that you do. The right information can change and save lives. I encourage you, when you come next Tuesday, invite 3 women. Number 3. Yep. Number 3. Invite 3 women. Invite 3 women. Even if they say, I don't do Facebook. Listen, baby, come on Facebook. You have a Facebook page? Come on Facebook and get involved and get in. Because we share a lot of things, Lady J. We do. We share a lot of things. We got a lot going on in our world. It's a lot of news. If we can sit on social media for 3 and 4 and 5 hours, you can come on and you can support, first of all, women in business, support our coaches, support our guests, support them, because these ladies are taking time out of their busy schedule. They travel all over the world, speaking engagements, everything. And they say yes to us to come on and bring you information that God has given to us to give to you. And that is valuable. That is so valuable. And God gave us this platform, and we're just saying yes to God. We're just saying, yes, we will bring the information, and so that women just all over can be uplifted and inspired and educated. Because, guys, that's what it is all about. So we love you. And Lady J, you want to take us out, girlfriend? And I want to just make sure we just said blessings to everybody. Thanks for listening.
Well, I think you covered the gamut. And I
Mhm,
just want to give a closing charge to everyone. As you leave this space, don't leave your transformation behind. Take
mhm.
every word, every whisper, uh, go and find nature. Remind yourself that there is healing in nature. Let it anchor you. You are not here by accident. You are divinely positioned for purpose, for healing, and for breakthroughs.
Yep.
So, the same God who fed and clothed the birds in the air, he will certainly do the same for his children.
Yes.
So, with intention, we invite you to go be nurtured by nature. Thank you, everyone, for joining us tonight, and have an amazing week. And we will see you next week on Let's Talk
That's
Our
it.
Wellness.
Let's talk our wellness.